We've all been there. It's 2 a.m., you just finished the last page of your book, closed the cover, and now you're wrecked. Or elated, shocked, frustrated, distraught, or maybe a combination of so many emotions you can't put a name to what you're feeling.
But there's an ache in your chest, and all you want to do is turn to someone who knows what you just went through, who you can talk about that favorite scene with, swap theories about the sequel, gush over the hottie your main character landed.
You might try to explain it to your significant other, suggest the book to a colleague, or swap a couple surface-level thoughts with a friend who read it years ago. But there's no one who truly gets it. No one who will tear each moment apart with you, put it all back together, and start the next great read by your side. But what if we told you that now there's someone who will?
I'm Brooke.
I'm Jamie.
I'm Elena.
And we're the High Ladies of the Book Court. Let's read your next favorite book together.
Hello, everybody. We are back talking about Crescent City by Sarah J. Maas. Once again, if you somehow stopped reading this book at the point that we told you to then come and hang out with us in this episode, bravo. Absolute bravo. We are discussing the first part of part 4, the last part of the book. I think it's chapters 68 through 82. A lot happened, and I can't wait to actually finish this book, probably all tonight. But yeah, there's so much I don't even know where to start. Chronological, by character, at the end, unclear. If anyone has a feeling, please start.
I feel like if we started at the end, we would never get to anything else. Like,
Right.
It would only just be...
Yeah, I could talk about those last 3 chapters for a whole hour. Easily.
Yeah, so maybe at the beginning, because I feel like the last episode we ended on Jamie saying, well, maybe Micah doesn't really kill Justinian and Victoria.
And he did.
And
They're
he did.
super dead.
Extra dead.
Yeah.
And then Bryce, Brooke, you were mad that Bryce wasn't forgiving Hunt right away and was holding a grudge that he lied, which I feel like continues for a little bit.
Yeah. Yeah, her grudge continues way too long as far as I'm concerned. I think now, knowing what I know, I'm okay with it, because obviously he doesn't get killed. That's not the punishment that is chosen for him. And I do recognize that there was very little that she could do in the moment to really bring about change and help him out of the situation he was in. But it took her 3 whole chapters to decide that she wanted to help out.
She did sprung into action once she found out that Micah gave him away to Sandriel, who she knows is the worst person ever. But she did do it.
She can't be that bad. She's literally the sister of the guy he loved.
But she killed her sister and the person that he loves.
And she owned him for a while before he went to Micah. And we definitely don't have a lot of details about what happened, but definitely torture. Hands down, loads of torture, and then just emotional torture by making him kill people like Micah does, because Micah's an asshole. But
is this the part where I now have to start pretending Sandriel might be redeemable? Or
I'm totally...
You totally messed me up. I'm gonna have trust issues.
We have all been personally victimized by Sarah J. Maas novels. This is really a therapy group. Everyone join us. Yeah. I think that it's okay for you to not pretend that Sandriel is going to get a redemption arc, Elena. It's okay for you to just join in and hate her. Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah, I feel
Yeah.
like I only got on the Micah is redeemable train because Elena enforced it so hard and I believed her.
No, Elena was really convincing.
So
I mean,
believable.
there were moments that I wondered if Sarah would try to be like, but he like helped out, with our ideas about maybe he is actually working for the resistance, maybe.
Right.
I was like, I mean, if it does, this is going to be the one character that I can't switch over on. And I know that there are parts of different fandoms that won't switch over to hating characters that they've loved before. So that would just be me. I'd be like, nope, I don't care if Micah's handing out free ice cream to children. Like, I want him dead. But yeah, I think that what Bryce did was really cool when she finally sort of realized that what she and Hunt had in the past as like their friendship, their connection was worth trying to help him out of the situation, even if it meant that their romantic relationship wouldn't survive the lies. Her trying to, well, first of all, like buy Hunt for $1 million bajillion. And then like offering to be in his place with Sandrio, which she knew what that would have meant. It was really touching. I
Yeah.
liked
It
the
took
whole
me
Yeah.
back
scene.
to like Bryce being just a very, very good friend, so loyal. She would do anything for them. And like I think I was really proud of her at that moment, just to push her differences aside, that he kept this truth from her in order for her to spring into action to help save him, knowing that like this was like the worst place he could be in, going back to Sandriel.
Yeah, this is his box at the bottom of the ocean, which I still have questions about. Is it possible for us to get Victoria's essence out of that box and shove her in another body? Like, I don't think it's been confirmed, but I'm like, can we get down to that box and somehow figure this out, please?
I feel like hypothetically they would be able to, but I don't know if Victoria was like a fleshed out enough character that they would.
Yeah,
Just from like a
I don't think that it's going to remain a plot hole, though. I think at some point, if they decide, like, if they realize there's nothing they can do, I don't know. I at least see them going and getting the box and somehow, like, putting her out of her misery, if that's, like, the only option. Like, you don't just go, oh, we've all forgotten about Victoria.
Yeah,
in
it's
a whole
definitely
nother book and never mention her again.
it's possible. It's possible. But the author did leave it open ended that it's yeah, it's possible she could be retrieved, put put it in another body.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
to be fair, like at the part that we're at, like there hasn't really been a moment yet where that's been possible, and like shit has hit the fan. So I don't know that it's going to be possible for a little bit at least, but it keeps being in the back of my mind. Like she doesn't seem entirely dead.
Well, it was always weird to me that like Victoria was not dead, and then Hunt's solution is they're not dead, and they were just like, nah, we're gonna kill Justinian. Why not? Like, why only kill the one? Like, is it because he like was viewed as the ringleader? I don't really know.
No, I mean I think that Victoria's punishment was specifically supposed to be, I mean it's supposed to be permanent, right? Like they did it to
Mhm.
be permanent, and it was supposed to be specific to her being a wraith, like a punishment for her. But yeah, I mean Justinian is super dead. So
Yeah.
no coming back from that. But yeah.
Yeah. So, how did you guys feel like when Bryce like offered herself for Hunt, and then Rune was like, "Nope, she's my property. Absolutely not." Like, was that a good thing? Were you like, "That's icky"? Was it a little bit of both?
I can
Like,
understand why Bryce was like, hell no, you don't own me. Like, that's just who she is. She's very independent and self efficient. She never asked for any of their help, like her that side of her family, like who's never accepted her for who she is. But at the same time, I see from Rune's side, like he's trying so hard to protect her and to like be back into her good graces and be back in her like her life. I could see why he did that. He's seeing it as like to protect her. Like, no, you don't want to do this. So I see it on
Yeah.
both sides.
Yeah, feminism took like 50 steps backward in that moment, but at the same time, it wasn't like Rune actually starting to like, pretend like he owned her. He did like he just made a Hail Mary pass and did what he knew could keep her out of that situation. And it wasn't great, but at the same time, I know, yeah, I totally agree with him doing it to save her because she would have totally died not having made the drop and then being Sandriel's slave. Like she wouldn't have survived that. I have to say I also really liked that Hunt tried to do that thing where he's like, I hate you, go away, and trying to put that distance between them. And in like the chapter after, Bryce was like, yeah, I didn't believe that. I would have done the same thing. And I was like, thank you.
Grace is like, what a fake bitch.
Yeah.
They are mirror of each other.
And that's part of what I love about them is like I think they just really get each other. Like they totally understand each other at every level. And I loved that they did not go with that trope to be like, oh no, he hates me. Maybe I won't save him. She was like, nah, I would have done the same thing. Let's keep saving him.
That makes sense. Um, oh my god. I really should have made coffee. Okay.
Elena, this is
This
the
is like
best
our
part of
whole
our day.
conversation with where I was like, should I make no, yeah. It is the best day, but I'm also trying to so yeah, Bryce and Hunt are super cute, very much get each other. How do you feel Bryce and Rune were like after he was like, no, you're my property, and she got mad? Like, how are they still getting closer? Or
It honestly, at that point, I was a little frustrated with Bryce because I felt like they're back to square one on their relationship when they were slowly making progress to being like best friend. Because like in the beginning of Crescent City, they mentioned that they were best friends at one point, and I'm just like, what? How? I want to see this. Like, I want to learn more about how this came to be. Um, but yeah, it just feels like they're going back to square one again, and that kind of made me sad. Especially when she was like deleting him out of her life.
Yeah. Well, and like he saves her from the Crystallos attack, like right after that scene. Like
Yeah.
he and Tristan and Declan go and save her. She's getting pulled underwater by a random Crystallos. um, but yeah, I mean, I think there's gonna be a quick shift. I think she was able to realize that Hunt has the best intentions and made a mistake, and I think she's going to quickly remember that like everything that Rune has done for the most part like is to keep her safe because he loves her and hopefully like get past that. But I'm also okay if there's like a lot of Bryce and Rune working on their relationship in the next book. If there's sort of like a truce, maybe like common ground, and then they work on it more later.
Yeah. Like, did we ever talk about the possibility? Because I know we mentioned that we wanted Hunt to be Bryce's anchor, but have we ever brought up that maybe Rune could be her anchor? 'Cause that's also a possibility. Like maybe him being her anchor for the drop could bring them back closer together or before that happens.
or he finds out about her hypothetical starborn powers and they grow even more estranged.
You
I
think
don't
they'll
see
grow
it.
estranged?
Nope. I think that Rune would be thrilled, honestly.
I think so too.
I think I'm too much of a hopeless romantic to want Rune to be her anchor more than Hunt. And maybe that is like how the first book ends is with, her and Hunt being better, Hunt being her anchor. Because hopefully there's even more shit that's going to go down in the second book that we're going to need Bryce to have like long lasting life for. And then
Well,
she
maybe
works
she needs to
on
do the job in order to save Hunt.
how? Oh my god. What's going to happen in the last 20 chapters? There aren't that many pages.
Assuming that they get back together by the end.
Yeah, I know they will. I'm very confident. I've been confident about a lot of things and I haven't been wrong yet, so I'm just saying.
Some theories you were wrong about. I just can't think of them right now.
Oh, yeah, definitely some theories I have been wrong about, but the ones that I've been very confident on, all right.
No, I feel like Brooke's theories have been pretty on point for Crescent City, except for one, and that's the missing sword.
The sword
location
never
of the
left the
missing sword.
building. Yeah.
Do you really think Sabine like would have gone in there and like torn it apart looking for the sword? You would have thought she sussed out Bryce that much.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know if Sabine knew that Danica kept the sword in the locker there. I mean, like, it would have been easy to assume that Bryce might have kept it at the antiquities dealership because she works there, but at the same time, I don't think she knew that that was the last place that the sword was at before Danica died. And thank God it stayed at the antiquities dealership.
She didn't need it. She had a gun.
Oh, she needed it. That gun only had one bullet. We needed to make sure there were small pieces.
Talking about estranged family, how did you feel about the Autumn King and Rune? I'm not Rune. The Autumn King and Bryce's conversation about her mom and him.
I trust everything he said. I think that in his mind, he did really love Bryce's mom, like true love, not like, how he just sort of made an agreement with Rune's mom to make a baby and then gave her a nice house. But it seems like it's the perfect situation of like you love someone, but then you suffocate them and lock them in your house and don't let them do what they want to do. And then they get nervous and they leave. And it seems like that's what happened in this situation. So I'm kind of hoping for maybe like some sort of, just maybe like a discussion between the Autumn King and Bryce's mom that's like, hey, like, obviously we're not getting back together, like, because Bryce's mom is super happy, but just maybe like hey, like, we weren't our best people at that point, and maybe finding some common ground.
I would love to see that. Especially and to
Do you
get
think?
her side of the story too.
Yeah.
Do you think Bryce will have like a stronger relationship with her dad? Like, is that something that's in the possibility?
I still think that Bryce is moving toward like being that princess. Like I still think that that is a potential plot path. So I think that she's going to have to work with her dad more, and I'm hoping that they can have a better relationship. Like I don't think that he's an awful guy. I just would not want to be with him. Um but I'd be interested to know like what was it that made Bryce's mom fall in love with him? What was that like initial spark? How did he stop paying attention to his scientific instruments long enough to woo someone?
True. Like, how did they even meet? How did he
Yeah.
come across a random human lady?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, that especially falling in love with a human when he's so like pro Fae
Mm-hmm. So
and
true.
apparently wanted to make her his queen. Like
What?
he fell hard. Yeah. It's kind of sad.
Mm-hmm.
Speaking of relationships, how do you feel about Fury and Juniper? Like, do you think them, like Fury's explanation of trying to protect Juniper at like all costs, was reason enough to completely abandon Bryce most of the time?
I understand they wanted to keep the relationship a secret. It's their business, but at the same time, it's hard because they were all friends. This is their friend group. So when you alienate one, like the other can't help but feel that something's wrong or they did something wrong, you know?
Yeah, I understand why Fury did what she did. Like, I mean, grief is hard and everybody deals with it deals with it differently. So I think that if really all she could do was take care of June and like get herself out of the situation, I can't question that really, but I think that she has a lot to make up for how she treated Brace. Like, if Juniper hadn't been around, Brace might not be around, and I just hope that Fury can be more present now than she has been in the past couple of years.
We still sus on her after she just like showed up on the Viper's boat super conveniently.
I'm less suspicious of Fury now that it seems like it was like Fury really was just like looking into the drug thing and Micah had them set up. Like I can see that more, but I still really want to understand like how Therian got her onto the boat. Like how did he not see? I don't know. I'm still wondering where all of that came from a little bit.
Well, he did say he'll keep an eye out if anything suspicious happening.
Yeah. So I'm like, I'm not gonna keep him at arm's length because I think that he is a good guy. But I've got a question in the back of my mind.
So we're more Therian than a Fury at this point.
Yeah, Fury makes more sense because it's kind of her job. Like I can see how she was definitely involved in it. But yeah,
Who even knows what Fury's job is? I don't think anyone knows.
killing people. That's basically her job. But yeah, no, I think that Therian and Fury they've got the right intentions.
I hope.
Yeah, I don't like Therian making eyes at Hypaxia, who definitely was the Mad Witch.
Wait,
What do
so
you
what was that? What do you guys think that was about? Like he was clearly keeping tab on something or keeping count. Like was it like the number of times that Hypaxia, I don't know, called someone out on something or do you think that was what was going on there?
I saw it as like a Hypaxia v like Sandriel count, like Hypaxia 1, Sandriel 0, like him keeping track of how many times they'd gone head to head and Hypaxia had come out on top, which I loved. Like she's so great. I
I
cannot
thought that
wait
was really
to yeah.
yeah. Her
Um
reveal was awesome though. And
oh
you were
good.
totally
Oh my god. Once Rune like rolled his tongue back up, I was like, give me your thoughts, sir. Yeah. Yeah, I think that Therian probably just likes her as an ally, but Sarah loves to throw us monkey wrenches in romantic relationships. So if the next book is about Rune and Hypaxia, I wouldn't be surprised if Therian is like throwing his hat into the Medwitch ring.
3? Therian steals Hypaxia away from Rune.
You never know.
in a way he reminds me of Tristan. Because it seems like they're both big flirts.
I love Tristan. I didn't say this, but I loved how Tristan and Declan reacted after they found out that Brace was Rune's sister. They just immediately were like, "Oh my god, our princess!" And I was like, "Oh, like you guys already loved her, but now you extra love her, and that's really cute. Super sexist, but really cute."
It was really cute.
Yeah. What were you gonna say, Elena?
Today is not a day to ask me to.
Good.
Um. Oh my god. So Therian was at the summit for what purpose? Like, what was his role there? Like, why was he the envoy from the water people? Like, do we know
I
that?
thought he was like the second. He's like the River Queen's second or something, right? Or maybe I'm
I think so.
misremembering. So that's why he was there. And in the River Queen's place was her daughter. 'Cause she don't go anywhere.
I just am wondering now why Elena's asking us these questions. What's going on under the sea, Elena?
Question everything.
Nothing. Therian just really likes Hypaxia.
Really likes Hypaxia. I assumed it was because Therian like volunteered as tribute, basically, because they've talked about how you can only be on land for so long that a lot of them don't like it. So I just assumed the queen was like, nah, I'm good. Like, I'm gonna stay here.
She's always staying. She don't go anywhere.
Yeah. But
They made
yeah,
a note of that. Yeah, that she doesn't venture out very often.
all right, so total conspiracy theory, there is no queen. She's dead. Therian has taken over the Mer Kingdom. Elena's like, I've opened Pandora's box.
And that just becomes super
It's
relevant in book
scary.
2, where you find out if or if not there is a River Queen.
Yeah, I'm not suspicious at all. It totally checked out to me that Therian
And why
was
wouldn't
the
it be?
one to
Wouldn't
do
it
it.
be her daughter? Oh, we'll find out in book 2.
We'll find out. Okay, so big excitement over Hypaxia being the Med Witch. No one saw that coming. Very surprising.
Well, okay, honestly, when Brooke mentioned it, I was like, "What? Really?" So I went back to read it, and there's literally a line that says that the Med Witch either walks or talks like a queen, and I'm like, it literally says it right there.
There are so many little hints. I
Oh,
cannot say
there's
this
so many
enough.
hints. Yeah.
Yeah, you don't do surgery on someone without introducing yourself. Like, if I wasn't sure before then, I was sure at that point. But
Just
yeah,
so
I
much trust in this stranger.
so much trust. I loved Rune's reaction though. I mean, like, I thought he was gonna be upset or whatever, but he was basically just like, "Oh wow, okay," and then goes to talk to her about it. Like, so my dad wants us to get married and stuff, and Hypaxia's like, "I don't got time for that shit." I was just like,
I love that she shot him down.
like the will they won't they, where I thought it was gonna be Rune like falling in love with her but not wanting to fall in love with her. Now I'm like, oh, now Rune is immediately gonna want what he can't have, and Hypaxia's gonna be like, I am doing grown-up girl things, you go find someone else, and he's gonna be like, nope, I need her. I don't want her, but I want her and I need her. I'm
I am
excited.
a queen. Leave me alone.
Yep. Yeah.
She's busy
Very
saying
excited.
goodbye.
Yeah.
Any other big summit reveals? I feel like we've been leading up to the summit all book. It's been this like over looming. Oh, we're gonna meet with a Stary boy. Have a fun talk.
I think that was one of the most interesting parts for me, like in the actual summit, was having the Asteri basically do like the opening ceremony of the games, and like people vomited, and everyone is just like super afraid of these guys, but also revere them. But then the whole summit
Also,
is a sham, and they're just gonna decide what they do anyway. And I'm like, okay, all
Right.
of these guys need to die. Let's get more bullets for that gun. Let's go.
Mm-hmm.
if I remember correctly, doesn't he not even show up? It's just like a video cam where he's like, "Hey guys, what's up?"
Well, it's all of them. It's all of the Asteri, like with
Mhm,
their, empty seat for the one that got killed. Yeah,
mhm. Oh,
they
I feel
were.
like it was mostly just one talking, but maybe not.
It was, but they were all like on the video together, like a bunch of creeps.
No, like a bunch of really thoughtful, wonderful leaders that care about their people.
Yeah, they're definitely super great, and I don't hope that something crawls out of a portal and eats any of them.
Like a certain demon.
Like
Demon.
any demon. Any
Like
demon.
a prince demon.
Oh, is it cat time? I'm excited for cat
Cat
time.
Demon
Cat
boy.
boy.
Maybe his brother. Maybe they all like team up together.
I'll take any of them as long as they're on Hunt's side. We just like lightning bolt everybody. Done.
I'm sure they have more important things to do than have a vendetta against the Asteri and just want to murder them all. I'm sure.
I mean, one of them acts the seventh queen or seventh Asteri, so why not all of
Yeah.
them? They can do it once. They
Got
can
their
do it
vendetta. 6 more times.
yeah, 6 more times.
Yeah. We probably won't get lucky and have all the Asteri die by the end of this book, but I can hope.
Yeah. Just dismantle them.
Yeah. Clean slate.
Do they describe what they look like? Because I feel like I always picture them as just like more powerful looking angels, and I feel like that's not what they actually look like.
No, that's how I picture it too.
Oh yeah. Maybe yeah, actually to be honest, I don't know. Like I don't know if they've been I guess it kind of makes sense that they would have wings, but or that they're angels, but I don't think we ever got like a really clear description of what they look like. Just that each is like a star or something. Like the wolf star was the 7th Asteri.
Hmm.
Yeah. I don't
I
think
don't
we
know.
have
Seem like good guys.
descriptions. They seem super great. Now I'm gonna need to go back and look to see if there are descriptions because Elena brought it
Yeah,
up.
that's what I was just thinking. I was like, I should have looked into that because I feel like there must be some kind of description. And I don't think they actually look like the angels, but that's just how I always picture them on their weird throne thing.
Yeah.
I think for one of them we actually got their name, but for all of them, but for the rest of them we have no idea, right?
Yeah. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't like them
The
at
one
all.
Yeah, I don't like them.
you
I
would
just
think
they're
if
gonna
you
die.
like pull together this huge summit and like force people to come, that you would actually show up like in person and be like, "Hey guys, I'm here too."
Right.
No. They work from home. Zoom it in. They put on their camera. That's all you can ask.
And then
You
they
can't
don't
ask
even
them.
like they don't even listen to the people. They're just still gonna do whatever they want to do.
Yeah.
It just seems like a really like it's a power play. That's all it is. It's like, hey, just to remind you, we're here, and you better
Is,
listen to.
is there even something like big that they're arguing? Like, is there like something on the table that like is the big decision, or is it just like we're getting together to discuss the city?
I mean, it's
What's
basically
going
like, are
on?
we gonna give more resources to the war effort?
Yeah,
And basically that like, yes, they are because the Asteri want to squash the humans. So whether like the powers that be of Lunathian want to or not, it's gonna happen.
Interesting. Like,
Do you need to crawl under your desk for a minute?
no. It's just interesting that they want the humans dead. Didn't remember that.
Yeah, that's the whole thing. Because then
Hmm.
Micah is also pro human squishing.
No,
'Cause
he's pro helping the humans.
no, no.
He's here for the rebellion.
Oh, he wants
Rebellion
to.
train. Toot.
He literally wants to use the horn to open a portal to bring all the bad shit in to kill all the humans. But his redemption arc starts now, right? Right? Redemption arc. We just gotta go back into the dumpster and we'll start the arc.
Speaking of people that don't bother showing up to the summit, you would think Micah would have more important things during the summit. Like, going to the summit than showing up and bullying Bryce.
Yeah. I mean, I liked that.
What a crazy scene that was, wasn't it? Like he left the summit saying that he has something important to do, and then she calls Jessica for help, And then they stream it live.
Yeah.
Everything that's happening. And it's Andrew's like, he said he was gonna go something a meeting, like an important meeting. What is this?
I mean, he did technically have a really important meeting with Bryce. Bryce
She didn't know about
it. Yeah. He put it on the Outlook calendar and forgot to invite her. Like, it happens.
But at least they turned on their camera.
Yeah. I know. I mean, I have to say, like, that scene was done perfectly. Like, the writing is amazing. Just to keep going back and forth between, like, what's happening with Bryce in the scene with Micah, and then flash over to the summit where everyone is losing their ever-loving minds. Like, it's not even just Hunt going, like, oh my god, the woman I love. Everyone is like, what is going on? It was great.
It was so good. Is this the part where I apologize to everyone?
You have the floor, Jamie.
All right. So I'm very sorry for my marry, fuck, kill choices. I was wrong. And I'm so disgusted with myself. I'm so sorry, everyone.
This is some real podcast video series, whatever this is that we're doing. Integrity, though. We're not going to go back and cut that out. Like, that's real and it happened.
I have to own up to my choices. It was a mistake.
You say you would now kill him?
Of course.
Yeah. What were our options? It was Micah, Sabine, and the Autumn King, right?
Ooh, can I redo it?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Marry Autumn King, fuck Sabine, kill Micah.
Yeah. I think that was my answer as well.
Yes. Oh, and I also need to apologize for killing Hunt in my first game. I think I was just super mad with him for withholding that truth from Bryce.
You were those 3 chapters of Bryce where she was like, I don't care, but also I'm going to just keep checking the news just in case it says he's dead.
She had died in those 3 chapters, and the rest of her life she was like, damn, remember that time I held a grudge and then the guy died? Oops.
Yeah, that was nice though. And I forget I forget how it came up, but something about how her mom, Bryce's mom, you know, like can also hold a grudge and not communicate well, which is probably how the whole thing with the Autumn King happened. And I was really proud that Bryce could like get past that and recognize that she needed to give him a chance.
Because it's I feel like it's bigger than her and them. Like this is all like the trauma with Hunt, and she heard his story and stuff. So she helped him through that beautiful chapter. Remember that beautiful chapter?
Chapter 54?
Yes.
Yeah.
I remember.
Guys, I feel like we're getting off topic.
Back to Micah, where we we find out he's truly disgusting and despicable after what he did to Justinian and Victoria, and then Syrinx.
Oh, when he throws Syrinx in the tank?
Yes, with the Nox.
I'm sad now.
But Syrinx is okay.
I know. But then they saved Syrinx, and then I thought we were okay, and then I got lulled into a false sense of security, and then it wasn't okay.
I was okay. So that scene, while that was happening,
Micah Syrinx in the tank.
Yeah, Syrinx in the tank, and then Bryce going into the tank to save him. Everyone at the summit's watching this, and I think one of them even said, I think either Declan or Tristan said, this is her ordeal.
So how do you know when something is someone's ordeal?
Yeah.
No idea.
That was traumatic.
Fey magic.
But I felt like, did anyone get the sense like anything happened after? I mean, other than, of course, saving Syrinx, but like, anything special?
Oh, it's
Like, what
fine.
happened to her? Like, I don't know.
So
Like,
cute.
said it was her ordeal, but I just didn't sense that something
I
magical.
feel like the events of the next upcoming like 30 hours or so are her ordeal, and we've seen like an hour of it.
Yeah. I mean,
looks
I
kind
would
of
argue I would argue that what she did after that, like what she did during that and then directly after
Mhm.
that was like so badass that like I wouldn't be surprised if she's just like, I have starborn powers and now I'm gonna go unleash them on whatever's coming out of that rift.
True. I feel like killing an archangel is no small feat in itself, even if
Yes.
things don't happen afterwards.
amazing.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Then to
That's
just shut the door in the faces of the whole ox and be like, hold on, wait, I need to vacuum real fast. I was just like, I don't know. I'm in love. I'm in love with her.
that was so
She just
good.
like bullet cuts up into small pieces, sets on
Oh,
fire,
oh.
vacuum.
Better than the couch scene. Better than the couch scene.
A
You heard,
hot
you heard,
take.
you heard it here first.
Is that what you've
Very
been waiting for?
rewarding.
Yes. I mean, other than a scene better than the couch scene, Micah dying is exactly what I've been waiting for this whole book. I don't know what he did in his first scene, but I was just like, I hate you and I already want you dead. And it just grew from there. Just
You are a good judge of character, Brooke.
sometimes I'm
I'm
not, though. Sometimes I'm not. This one I got. I don't know why.
You also wanted it to be Bryce that killed him, so you got that one too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It
That's
just felt right. And it happened in the absolute best way. I mean, other
I'm
than the
glad it was
thing,
her.
yes.
So, did you also think that she had the horn? Like she knew where the horn was?
No, I know I mentioned to you guys that like after the Crystallos attacked her and she went back to her apartment and like checked to make sure that the tattoo was intact, I like knew at that point that the tattoo was important. But I thought that the tattoo, like whatever language it was in, was going to tell her where the horn was. I didn't know you could grind a horn and mix it with tattoo ink. My brain did not go that extra step.
Certainly didn't.
No.
So it was such a huge reveal that the horn was on her the entire time.
And still is.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's why the Crystallos were chasing her because they were searching for the horn. No, they were random. I mean,
But who was calling the Crystalloses?
I don't remember. Can't
Who
recall.
who was it? Who wanted the
Random.
random super dead demigod that is now in a dustbin?
Toast.
I'm just saying someone could take
Toast
those
boy.
ashes.
He's Toast Boy.
He is toast.
Micah
Boy.
is Toast Boy.
It's very toast now.
Yep.
Very
He's toast.
toasty.
There's still pieces of him that exist though. Like hypothetically, someone could take the ash from the basket.
You stop. You stop it right there.
Nope. Nope.
You cut it out.
That death I am sure of. Definitely not coming back.
Are you saying there are deaths you aren't sure of?
There's definitely a death that I am not sure of, other than Victoria.
Should we say some words for Lahaba?
Did we all write something to say about her in this moment?
I wrote, is Wahaba dead?
Dead. I will say I have not seen a body. I understand why there wouldn't be a body, but the lack of body has been mentioned twice now. Just put it out there that
She did seem Oh.
Yeah. All signs point to super dead, but I think I cannot start my grieving process until I'm sure. And I stick with the show me the body.
That makes sense.
She
In
did
the
seem really important. Like
Yeah.
she was the great granddaughter of a queen.
Mm-hmm. I just wonder because they also Bryce mentioned that none of the books were harmed because there's a protective charm around them. And I just feel like there are many ways in which a little fire sprite could potentially have saved herself. I'm hopeful.
It's
But
good. It's good to have hope
yeah,
because
I
in the
mean,
moment I thought she was dead, and I was sobbing.
yeah.
I can talk. I still think she's dead. And
But why? No. No, she's not dead.
Anything could happen. This is fantasy.
true. Book 3. You couldn't see it.
It could happen. I don't
Oh my
know.
god.
I like the scene was so beautiful and like I can see
Mhm.
how she could be dead. Like Bryce telling her that she bought her freedom and Lehaba being like, I know, I went through your things. It was just like,
Yeah, that was actually the moment I started crying because even though Bryce was kind of mean to her after everything that's happened, like she's still such a good friend. And then to buy her freedom, and then just she wanted to surprise her and
yeah.
have a party for her. Like that's so sweet. That's when I started crying. And that's when I realized like, oh no, this is the end, so to speak, for Leva.
Yeah. It was I could sense it like basically right after they got out of the tank with Syrinx and it's like, oh, she's gonna have to run. And it's like, okay, well, I'm carrying Syrinx and there's one other person. And I was like, oh no, I've seen this scene so many times. And that's why I kind of hope that she's not dead, but I don't know.
Hold on to
It,
that hope.
yeah, I mean, if and when it's like obvious that she is, like that's the moment that I'll probably lose it. I think I'm just like hanging on to maybe there's like some loophole that we're gonna get her back because I really
Yeah.
love her.
I feel like we had that a similar loophole with Danica and the Pack of Devils because they were so murdered that like it was unrecognizable, right? Like there was some semblance of a hope there that like maybe there was a body swap and it's not really them and maybe they're
Yeah.
Still
really.
hope.
I know.
It's so funny because I never thought that. I was like, oh, they're very dead. Like they're super duper dead.
Right.
Because I could see the body. Like for me, that's like, all right, I see the dead body. It's not coming back.
Hmm.
With Jamie though, like at some point when you have a body that's so mutilated, you're like, I see what you're doing. You can't tell who that dead body is.
And that's why it just seems like a little too convenient that Lehiba just like poofed in the water. It's like, I get it. Like scientifically, I understand. But at the same time, too convenient? I hope so. I want to talk about what else we found out in that basement. Is now a good time to talk about books we've collected from the
Oh, I was gonna
past?
ask if you wanted to talk about books or if you thought that was too close to spoilies for other books.
No, because we don't have to specifically talk about what they are or where they came from. But
Okay.
I mean, it's we just find out in the basement that there are two books in the collection of these books that we've found out are all taken from like the pre-Asteri world. And two of the titles that Bryce notices as she's like trying to crawl away from Micah are books that we have seen in the other Sarah J. Maas series.
Hmm.
Elena dives under the table. And I don't know how much we've really talked about it in these episodes, but I mean, I think we've definitely wondered about crossover potential because
Yeah.
Crescent City talks a lot about portals into other dimensions and like the Fae came from somewhere else and, you know, not no spoilers, but like her other two series are definitely set in less urban settings that could be construed to be pre Crescent City.
Yeah, it's possible there are ties there, or they're just like cute little Easter eggs hidden
Like
within this series.
Jamie.
it could be a super fun throwaway, like as a
Yeah.
fun Easter egg for those of us that have read the other books. But I have a lot of respect for her as an author, and I would be disappointed if she wasn't going to do something.
I feel like even having the Easter eggs is kind of like a cool throwback to her other series, if that is what it is. I mean, I know I didn't, like, the first time I read it, I didn't pick up on the book.
Yeah, but you also
I'm
can't
very
like, make connections or theories based on the other series that she has.
Yeah. She's definitely set it up where the precedent is there for being able to go between universes and dimensions and just like
I can't think of a single instance in which she set it up to go between dimensions. I don't know how it would happen.
definitely not the
I can't.
gaping rift into another dimension that's currently in the city. Definitely not that.
Yeah, not that.
I can't. Oh, I can't say anything.
All right, maybe we should move on.
I just needed to say, like, especially, you know, if you haven't read any of the other Sarah J. Maas novels, the two titles are not going to ruin anything for you. If you have, though, go back and reread that scene. I lost my mind.
Rereading certain other books that we did was interesting.
Yep. Can we talk about Hunt and Bryce now? Is now when we talk about Hunt and Bryce?
Right, so what's next? Any theories for the end of part 4? Look, Elena.
Elena is not here right now. Please leave a message
It's so
after the
funny
beep.
because like she can't seem to keep a straight face when we're on this, but over text, she's so good.
So good.
So good.
Yeah, gift game is strong. Just a lot of, yeah, sounds great responses.
Yeah.
Oh, what a fun Easter egg. Okay.
What a fun Easter egg. I mean, I have been predicting that Bryce would have a very near-death experience, which is what would make her realize that she needs to do the drop after it. So I think since we're gearing up, basically, I think we're going to do the full Avengers sprint over to the rift that has opened in time and space because of Micah using the horn on Bryce's back. I think that Bryce is probably going to get in there and do something she shouldn't and almost die. And then she and Hunt are going to realize that they love each other forever and always, and then go do the drop.
She opens the door, says, looks dangerous, closes the door, locks herself in the secret safe room.
Nope. She's riding that high from just killing a demigod, and she's like, I got this. I will single-handedly take care of all of this.
Yeah, I wonder what's going to happen because it's just her. Maybe the auxiliary is on their way, but it's still a good an hour to get there from the summit. If Rune decides to go and try and like help and save her or Hunt, which by the way, I think at this point Hypaxia helps unlock his chains or something, right?
That's how the chapter ends, where they're like, oh my gosh, basically they start strategizing about how do we get Bryce to not be killed for what she just did to Micah, because everybody in the room in the summit knows what she did, whether she burned him and put him in a dumpster or not. So it's like, obviously, at least Sandriel is going to want to make sure to see her die. But Hypaxia comes over to Hunt, unlocks his manacles, and is like, you clearly have not been watching the news. We've got a portal open in time and space. Shit's coming out, and we need you to go lightning things.
Mm-hmm.
Zap Daddy.
Zap Daddy.
Zap Daddy. Oh, so glad I know about that.
So you think somehow Hunt is going to travel the hour to help drop Bryce in whatever catastrophe is currently happening?
I think that they're going to get through the catastrophe, and I see like the wrap up of this book being like Bryce doing the drop. So few comments. Guys, they're gonna be together forever.
It's an
Yeah.
interesting theory. Seems difficult to get there, but I guess we'll see. Also seems likely that Bryce will just say, "Oh, those poor people. Oh well."
Yeah, I mean, I don't foresee Hunt not getting there at the very least. And like the Ox is with Bryce right now, so they're all there, so they can
Yeah, I
start
feel like he'll
fighting.
at least try to
Yeah.
get there.
Yeah. Or maybe Hunt doesn't go and her dad is like, "Oh no, my daughter. I need to be there."
Yeah, probably not.
Like, doesn't
Um,
everyone know now, or is it just
I
just
think it's not widely known
widely? Yeah.
across all of society, but basically all the key players know now.
Mhm.
Which I feel like bodes well for Bryce not being executed for killing Micah. Because, like, at that point, like, at least some higher ups know that she's not just a normal person, that she's a princess.
Yeah. Well, and I would like to argue that if anyone saw everything that led up to it, like obviously she killed him. Like it was very clearly self-defense. Like she couldn't run. Like that was the whole thing they kept saying is like running was not going to work. He's Micah. So her one chance at living was to kill him.
But there's also the issue with the books, like the Siri, and they wouldn't be happy that Jessica and the books are still there.
Yeah.
It's weird that they hate the books. Can't they?
I don't know. My hope is that Sandriel is going to die in these next few chapters, and then everybody just makes a pact to be like, maybe we just don't tell them. I'm hopeful.
We can all hope for Sandriel's death.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, vehemently. I've been hoping for a character's death this whole book, and it came true, so I'm just going to keep that momentum going.
I love that.
So, how bad do you think it's gonna be when Bryce opens the door and sees everything? Like, cause we haven't gotten like a real view of it yet, have we?
No.
No, it was basically she vacuumed him up. She vacuumed up Micah, and then it went right back to Hunt and everybody being like, oh my God, how do we get her out of this situation? They're going to kill her. But then, like, I have to assume that Hunt and, like, the summit location is close enough, at least for people that can fly. Otherwise, why did Hypaxia unlock his shackles? Like, to me, that was we've got bigger fish to fry, and you're definitely one of our best people to go deal with the situation. So if they were too far to get there, I don't know why Hypaxia would have unlocked his shackles.
Just a cool ass queen.
If she was really cool, she'd take care of that tattoo too, but she hasn't done that yet.
Maybe she's
Yes.
working on it. Yet.
Right. And that's kind of what I'm hoping. Because if Hunt still has a not just for sexy purpose tattoo by the end of this book, I riot.
But he doesn't have wings, so like even if she does,
Oh, he does.
get rid of,
He does.
I thought they didn't grow back yet.
No, that was, yeah.
They're back.
They're
Yeah.
totally back.
A good amount of time has passed since the
Mhm.
reveal that
Yes.
he's in it a little bit.
And he specifically
Interesting.
mentioned that they are
With
totally
him.
grown back and functional. He says that he's tested them out multiple times and like he's not at peak performance, but like good to go. And that's why I got really mad when they start live streaming Bryce's, issue with Micah that Sandriel stopped him because I was like, oh my God, Hunt, go right now. But she froze him in place. So no, Hunt is definitely about to go jump out a window and fly his way straight to
His
the
true
opening.
love.
Yes.
I can't wait.
Like, I don't know. I guess we'll see. We'll see how it works out.
Yeah.
A good neutral response right there.
Yes. Yes.
I'm
Elena has
bringing
no
it
idea.
back. I'm bringing back neutrality.
That's really good of you.
Sandriel seems like she could be okay, could not be okay. Everyone seems like they're doing the best that they can.
I can't wait to do this to you guys when we do Throne of Glass series.
Okay, I have some strong feelings about Hairfire already. Airfire. I always say Hairfire, and then Jacob yells.
Hair of Fire. It's a totally different book.
Surprise, everyone! We'll be doing
Yeah.
Fire.
Yeah, random plug for our next up book or two. I don't know. We're reading like 3 books at the same time. So, but Air of Fire's coming soon. But yeah, any final thoughts from anybody about the first half of part 4? Predictions for how it's going to end?
Honestly,
I think
no, because I was so thrown off with Hunt having like the secret mission with the rebellion and everything. So I feel like anything is fair game, really. Like anything can
Yeah.
happen. I have no idea.
I'm
kind of excited.
I think there's going to be at least one more major character death.
I
That's
am
just my
anticipating
theory.
that as well. No, I think so too.
Sandriel?
Right?
That's my hope. My hope is Sandra.
No, like one you care about.
No. No.
No.
Elena.
That is unacceptable.
If
Sarah
Hunt and
didn't
Bryce
kill off
don't make it into the next book, I'll die.
Why would they make it into the next book? Next book is ruined.
Because they're still
They don't need-
around, loving each other, I hope. I did want to say just one more thing that I remembered, and we've probably forgotten several things to discuss. So if there was a part of the first part of part 4 that you wanted to talk about, let us know. But I was really glad that I was wrong about Danica being super into synth and then accidentally ODing and killing everybody. I thought that it would have been like a good storyline because obviously like people do awful things with drugs and have no control and shit like that does happen. But
Yeah.
I was really glad when we found out that Micah did drug her in order to kill the whole pack.
Yeah.
To find out Micah drugged.
No, we're not turning back. That's it. That's the truth. No more twists.
No, that's just it's a funny line to be like, I was glad to find out she was drugged.
Yeah. I mean, it was a better alternative.
Yeah, it was. I was definitely questioning it. I remember. If anyone remembered my last statement on that in the previous episode. It just didn't really make sense to me. But I'm glad
Look,
it wasn't that.
Jamie, that's an instance where you were like, I'm sus. I don't think this is true. And Brooke was like, it's definitely true.
Yeah. Yeah. No, Jamie was totally right about that one. I thought for sure Danica just took too much drugs and then accidentally killed everybody, but it makes way more sense that Micah incapacitated everyone and then, forced Danica to kill them.
She's already so powerful and she doesn't seem like the type that just will kill for anything, really.
Yeah.
Did we ever figure out why they were in Bryce's room, or is that just a big like Micah just
Not yet.
Yeah, we haven't.
But yeah, no clear reason why they were in her room.
Bryce's room was cleaner. Danica's really bad at picking up her stuff, so that was the only place they could go.
Yeah.
I'm totally lying. I have no idea.
Wait, was the jacket already in her room? Or what? Where was her jacket? Danica's jacket.
Remember.
Because maybe that's why they were in her room, so that she could hide the jacket there that had the. Let's try.
I'm so bad. I'm just fully believing everything at this point. I'm like, I just need Bryce and Hunt to get together again. Please, God.
We need them to go all the way.
Just get back together, say you're sorry, and live happily ever after.
It's gonna be when he has to leave with Sandriel at the end of everything.
It's not happening. Bryce will find another bullet. It's not happening. Yeah.
True, if Sandriel does die, that is a solution.
Oh, all right. this part was awesome. I cannot wait to finish this book. And then we will all meet back here and discuss what we loved, if there's anything we didn't love. And yeah, I can't wait. So, see you guys in a little bit.
Thanks.
Bye.
Bye, guys.